From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Well, the cold and unstable area has moved in over Northern California, giving us scattered showers. We expect to see some thunderstorms possibly as we take you into your Friday as well. So really a bit of a carbon copy going into tomorrow. We're just going to see a few differences here and there. Number one, I'm expecting snow levels to be even a little bit lower as we take you into tomorrow and really over the next few days. Now, there is another weak atmospheric river I've got my eyes on that will be here on Sunday and Monday. We'll take a closer look at that in more detail and what that'll mean for our weather. And also, this wet weather pattern is going to stick around for the weekend and will continue into next week as well. So taking you into tonight, yeah, we could see some more thunderstorms tonight for the inland, for the coast. Even Trinity County may even see an isolated thunderstorm as well. We take you into tonight and into tomorrow for the valley. Could also see some of those thunderstorms here, even as we go into early tomorrow morning, but also Siskiyou and Modoc County, looking at mainly in the way of showers and, of course, those snow levels dropping. So I do expect to probably see some snowflakes around, say, Mount Shasta City, and, of course, not to mention Alturas, if we can get that snow that far to the east. In the eastern mountains, yeah, I think we'll be, of course, looking at those temperatures on the cool side because, again, that cooler air is in place. So again, we talk about the atmospheric river. We have 5 different categories. Now, this is something I've been talking about over the last few days, so if this is the first time you're seeing this, just take note that the key to this is the fact, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because when we hear atmospheric river, it's been something that's been overinflated by the media. And I want to make sure that you understand that when we're talking atmospheric river, that there are 5 different categories, 1 being the lowest impact, 5 being the highest impact. So to give you an idea, the atmospheric river we saw yesterday, it was a category 2. It's that balance of much needed rainfall, but also hazardous conditions. And we definitely saw that. We saw the much needed rainfall, but unfortunately we did see flooding. We also saw gusty winds leading to power outages as well. But with this next system coming in Sunday, Monday, I'm expecting it to be even weaker. So here we are. There's the category 2 that we were yesterday. This is a category 1, of course, the weakest, right? We're just mainly talking beneficial rain. So as we go into the next few days, for the rest of the week and even the first half of the weekend, there are no atmospheric rivers. But then you see this little bump up here? That right here is a weak, barely getting within that weak atmospheric river here is what we're looking at here for Sunday and into Monday. So what that will mean is I think we'll see some rain for most of us, but honestly, not everyone. I think slimmer chances going into the coast. And of course, we'll take a closer look at that here in a second. So here's the atmospheric river that was over us yesterday. It was like this, right? Then it shifted down to the south over Southern California. Now I've got my eyes on this area of low pressure and another atmospheric river right here that'll be taking shape as we get into Sunday and into Monday. So notice where it's mainly pointed. It's mainly pointed into central and southern California. However, what we have here is this area of low pressure right here. The counterclockwise flow around that is going to tap into the moisture associated with that atmospheric river. And you can also see how it kind of migrates a little bit more up to the north. So it's this nice little tap into the moisture that we are going to see as we go into Sunday, Monday. So that is going to be our source of moisture for rain, and not to mention low elevation snow as we go into the second half of the weekend and early next week. Now we'll take a closer look at that here in just a second, but let's get you through the next few days. Because as we take into the overnight hours, we still could see some showers. And if you hear a few rumbles of thunder, it's not out of the question. Snow levels could be between 3,000 and 4,000 feet here for tonight. Now, we take you to tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., I think for the most part we'll see a bit of a break, but you know, if we see a stray shower, maybe even a rumble of thunder, not out of the question. Snow levels dropping tomorrow, by the way, between 2,500 and 3,000 feet. This could mean the potential of a mix for places like Hayfork and Weaverville. Barely, right? But I do expect to maybe see some all snowflakes for places like Mount Shasta City, Bernie, Chester, Alturas, Ayden, even Shingletown, Viola, for example, as well. So those are areas that we have our eyes on when we're talking about snow. But again, we see the potential for more thunderstorms going into your Friday afternoon as well. There it is, those thunderstorms possibly developing here for your Friday afternoon. Taking you into Friday night, Looks like it's going to be mainly snow off to the north and some rain off to the coast here, but we may actually see a bit of a break for Saturday morning in the valley. Notice the snow levels too, between 2,000 and 2,500 feet going into your Saturday, so even lower snow levels. This is when, on Saturday, when I expect to see the best chance for maybe some measurable snowfall, maybe just a trace, but a trace nonetheless for places like Hayfork and maybe Weaverville. But you'll also notice on Saturday, we're just not seeing a lot of rain or snow for that matter. In fact, by Saturday night, we may get to see a bit of a break before that weak atmospheric river comes in on Sunday. And again, we'll talk more about that in a little bit more detail here in a second. All right, so here are the forecast rain totals through Saturday night. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that you're seeing 500s in Chico and 4,200s in Redding. Honestly, that's not going to be the case. I can tell you that right now. And the reason being is when we're dealing with these cold and unsettled weather patterns, what you see is that some areas see a lot more rain than others. But the thing is, until it happens, we don't know exactly where those locations are going to be that see the most amount of rainfall or the least amount of rainfall, because it all has to do with these these weak disturbances that pass through, and not to mention that cold and unstable air tapping into that moisture, that we see that all kind of come into fruition. But we are still seeing more rain, it looks like, off towards the west out along the coast. Now, snow, that's what I was talking about. I don't anticipate any measurable snowfall for places like Hayfork. I think Futurecast overdoing it here, but I do think we could see a mix for Weaverville and Hayfork. I think it might be overdoing it for Boerne as well. It'll be borderline measurable snowfall in Boerne, so maybe a trace in Boerne, better chances for measurable snowfall out in Chester, and maybe even out towards Mount Shasta City, but again, I think that might even be borderline as well. It's Saturday that I think we'll see that better chance, but again, keep in mind, remember, on Saturday, we're not seeing as much shower and snow flurry activity out there, but the best chance of at least seeing a trace for both Weaverville and Hayfork, and yeah, I think Boerne, Mount Shasta City could quite possibly see some of that as well, not to mention out in Shingletown. Now let's take a look at the ski park, and this is through Saturday night. Yeah, we could pick up another foot of snow once all is said and done here for the ski park. Certainly take that after over a foot of snow over the last 24 hours. And look at this, along I-5, there is that potential of maybe seeing some snow there as well. So we need to keep a close eye on those chain requirements and the potential for chain requirements as we progress over the next few days and those snow levels begin to drop, especially going into your Friday and Saturday. All right, now let's take a look at Sunday. This is the atmospheric river I was talking about. Now remember, where most of the atmospheric river is pointed is to our south, but the area of low pressure to our north and west is tapping into that moisture and coming in, but the flow is keeping most of the rain down to the south and east, and not to mention the snow off to the east as well. Look at the coast. Look it up to the north. You're not seeing as much rainfall there. And then that all just kind of pushes off to the east. However, we do see that low pressure shift a little bit more to the south, and now we're getting more of some wraparound moisture coming in. So a better chance for some of those showers on Monday for the coast. And of course, still snow levels fairly low, around 2,500 to 3,000 feet. So still fairly low snow levels on Monday. Then we go into Tuesday, maybe a bit of a break, and then maybe some more activity coming in from the north on Wednesday. Once again, you'll see that snow is looking like it's fairly low, maybe around 2,000 feet again. And then on Thursday, maybe a bit of a break. But you get the idea. It looks like as we go through next week, we still have that chance for rain, keeping us in that above normal category here through at least the first couple of weeks of February, and below normal temperatures, keeping those snow levels low as we see these storm systems coming in from the north. Now the wave heights, they're not going to be changing much. There you can see as we go into your Friday afternoon, Friday evening, we're at about 16 feet out to sea. Now we take you into your Saturday. All right, they may drop a little bit by a couple of feet, which obviously is a significant drop. I mean, 16 to 14 feet certainly helps, but there certainly is going to be, if you have to be on a small boat, you definitely still want to be on the safe side here. Let's take a look at your marine forecast here for your Friday. Southwest winds at about 10 to 15 knots. Your waves from the west at 14 feet at about 15 seconds. And there is that chance for thunderstorms here taking you through the day on Friday. For tonight, I'm expecting those temperatures to drop down in the low to mid 40s in the valley and in the 30s, even some 20s and 30s for the higher elevations. So it is going to be a chilly night tonight. We are going to see some clearing as we go through the night tonight as well, and that will allow our temperatures to drop a bit here. So we take a look at your neighborhood by neighborhood forecast, taking you out into Trinity County. All right, so again, I think the best chance for at least a mix in places like Hayfork and Weaverville will be tomorrow and Saturday, and then snow levels back up to about 3,500 feet for Sunday through Tuesday. But then we go into Wednesday, we actually may see those snow levels drop again, and maybe a bit of a mix on Wednesday as well. All right, we take you off to the west and for the north coast here. There's your neighborhood forecast here. 51 degrees for Eureka, 50 out in Blue Lake, and 47 degrees for a high in Garberville. We take you up north, could see some thunderstorms here and showers on Saturday with those temperatures upper 40s to low 50s. More like the upper 40s inland and low 50s along the coast. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Also looking at those snow levels dropping, especially on Saturday, and then a slight increase, and then another drop on Tuesday down to 2,500 feet. But temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s, low to even mid 40s. For Modoc County, we've got 41 for Canby as well as Calpines, 42 out in Alturas, Tule Lake about 41, and Aden, a high of about 39 degrees for your daytime high. And taking a look at your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, 36 degrees for Mineral, Viola 35, 43 out in Shingletown. There you can see Paradise about 47, and Portola, a high of about 40 degrees. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Haas Farms. Those temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s, 55 degrees for Corning, 52 out in Paskenta, and 55 for Durham. We do have a chance for more thunderstorms here for your Friday. Showers, you know what? Honestly, there could even be a chance for a few thunderstorms on Saturday as well, but those chances will certainly be slimmer. 51 degrees for a high in the city of Shasta Lake, 48 degrees in Shingletown and Lakehead. Look for a high of about 53 for Anderson and 54 in Red Bluff. All right, so here's a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding, and what we're talking about here, temperatures dropping. Thunderstorms possibly for your Friday. Saturday could see some more showers. As I mentioned, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. And then on Sunday, some of that heavier rainfall. But again, keep in mind, we're not going to see as much heading off to the north and west. Now, we take you off towards Monday, more showers off and on for Tuesday and quite possibly even into Thursday.